Good morning. Today is our 13th speaking class. I'm going to wait my student, so I'm I have to close my microphone. Okay, I'm going to wait. Okay, it's 8:45 a.m. So it's necessary to start the class. Uh, I'm going to wait 5 minutes more for my student. So he's a police, and sometimes he has many problems for connect. So I'm going to wait 5 minutes more. So if the student doesn't connect, I have to record this class. Thanks. Okay, the student he doesn't he can't come to class. So today we are going to see a review about present simple. It's a review because Hammer, I think, has different knowledge about this tense. So it's important to make a review for practice and make the different activities. So Hammer have to make the different activities that I show today, and send me all the activities like a homework. Okay, for start today we are going to see. Okay, the idea is Hammer read excuse me, read this paragraph for practice the pronunciation. The class of pronunciation. We have this class, the last class. So it's very important that Hammer practice with this paragraph and send me the audio file by email. Hammer, you can record you're listening, you're speaking in Bukhara. Bukhara is a good tool, and you you can send me the link, only the link by Bukhara. Okay, present simple tense. The present simple tense, it's, excuse me, the present simple tense, I'm going to, the present simple tense has different uses. Okay. For example, for instantaneous situation in sport, Ronaldo passes the ball to Benzema. For newspaper headlines, man enters space. With non-progressive, I believe that you are innocent. Innocent, excuse me. When telling stories, suddenly the window opens and a masked man enters. In ceremonial or formal conversation, I pronounce you, man and wife. For habits and repeated regular actions, the child drinks milk every day. With future constructions, I will call you before I leave. This example is for another. For me, is for another tense. Okay, for general truths or scientific facts. Water boils at 100 centigrades. For giving direction and instructions. First of all, break the eggs and whisk with sugar. And the last one, for the scheduled programs or arrange future. The examination starts at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Okay. Um, this is the part of in affirmative, interrogative, and negative. For example, I work, you work. The rule of third person. He works, she works, it works, we work, you work, they work. The only the pronouns that has the rule of third person is this one, he, she, it. And the negative part, I don't work, you don't work, he doesn't work, she doesn't work, it doesn't work, we don't work, you don't work, they don't work. Excuse me. An interrogative part, do I work? Do you work? Does he work? Does she work? Does it work? Do we work? Do you work? Do they work? Okay, pay attention in this part. The rule for the third person is only for positive sentences, for affirmative sentences. When I have a negative sentence, the rule of the third person disappears. Yes, because there is an auxiliary. Okay, and in this part is the same. When I have an interrogative sentence, the rule of the third person disappears because I have an auxiliary. So does, and does. Okay, and it's the difference. I have to use auxiliary for the interrogative and the negative part. Okay. So we are going to remember the rule for the third person in singular. He, she, and it. In general, I add s, work, eat, play, swim, and write. Works, eats, plays, swims, and writes. Okay? Verbs ending in consonant plus white. I drop the white and plus IAS. Okay? For example, study, cry, spy, fly. How this verb has a consonant before the y. Okay, I have to change the y and add IAS. Studies, cries, tries, spies, and flies. And the another rule, verbs ending in O, sh, ch, x, and double S, I add ES. For example, go, goes, wash, washes, watch, watches, mix, mixes, and kiss, kisses. Okay, this is a general rule. It's a summary about the third person rules. Okay, so short explanation about questions with do and does. Okay, uh, we use do or does to make a question in the simple present tense. Auxiliary. Auxiliary is do or does. The subject is I, you, we, and they. And the third person is he, she, or it. And we add the complement or the verb. Okay? The verb is an infinitive. Okay? So, affirmative is you speak English? And the question is, do you speak English? Affirmative, he speak English? And the question is, does he speak English? Okay? And WH questions. WH, what, when, where, who, why, how, whom, and which. Remember that which only we use when I have to select object between other objects. Okay, so if I have to select an object, it's I can use For example, it's different if I say, uh, what what do you want? What do you want for drink? Yes, or what do you prefer for drink? And it's different if a person asks me, for example, which do you select, the coffee or the tea? Yes, or which do you select, the green card or the blue card? Okay, when is the time, where is place, who is a person, and why is the reason, how it's the way, whom is belong to the person, and which is the selection for selections. Okay, okay, I'm going to continue. Okay, so how today the topic is about present simple. In present simple, in we have to use adverb of frequency, because how in the first slide, in the second slide said, for habits and repeated regular actions, yes, or for scheduled programs or arrange feature. Okay, when you repeat an action, you have to use adverb frequency. Okay, for example, 100% is always. I always study after class. 90% usually. I usually walk to work. 80% normally or generally. I normally get good marks. 70% often or frequently. I often read in bed at night. 50% sometimes. I sometimes sing in the shower. 30% occasionally. I occasionally go to bed late. 10% seldom. I seldom but pat put excuse me put salt on my food. 5% hardly ever or rarely. I hardly ever get angry. And 0% never. Vegetarians never eat meat. Okay. Subject, adverb, and main verb. Okay. And this is for present simple. And this is a little example about if I want to use this adverb frequency in with the verb to be. Subject, verb to be, always, and the other adverb or the complement. Here, um, there are some examples, some other examples. How often? The adverbs of frequency and adverb of frequency tell us how often something takes place. I always wake up at 6 o'clock. I usually come home after work. I normally swim after school. I often spend Christmas with friends. I sometimes play tennis on the weekend. I occasionally eat Vietnamese food. I seldom go to the library. I rarely listen to the radio. I never listen to rock music. Okay? And finally, we are going to excuse me, to remember some daily routines that is a useful vocabulary. I get up, I take a shower, I get dressed, I have breakfast, I go to work, I start work at night, I have lunch, I finish work, I arrive home, I have a dinner, I watch TV, I go to bed. And there are some daily routines. Okay, for our practice work, uh, I'm going for today. I'm going to I had I had a board game for play with Homer. Homer, you lost this funny board game. Okay. Hmm. Okay. The idea is that plays this board game and make the different sentences in affirmative, negative, or interrogative. For example, right. Right. Do you ride your bicycle, or do you travel to other country, or do you play tennis, or does Hammer eat strawberries? Does Hammer play cards? Does Hammer eat pineapple? Okay, this is a board game about present simple. So this was for this class. So the other activity for today, these activities I have to send for Hammer, so by mail. Okay. For practice, the present simple third singular person. Okay. He, she, it. He likes football. He gets up early. It swims very fast. Okay. My mother's daily activity. Activities, time. For example, get up at 7 o'clock. She sets the table at 7:30. Okay. There are some activities with the time. Okay. So the student have to complete this part, take into account this time and the activities that the mother make. Okay. And this one. Okay. Complete this part. Okay. This one. Rewrite the sentences. I go to school at 8 o'clock. Okay. Change the the pronoun. He, for example, if I change a pronoun, he goes to school at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Okay, we play basketball on Saturdays. Team. How is the sentence with team? I watch TV in the afternoon. How is the sentence with she? And the other sentences are the same. Okay, it's an easy exercise. And this, to read this article about Sophie's daily routine. Sophie is 11 years old and she lives in Brighton, England. She usually gets up at a quarter to 8. She has a shower, gets dressed, and then she brushes her teeth. After that, she goes downstairs and has a breakfast. Okay, the student has to read this article and answer these questions. Okay, the idea is that students make these activities in this class, but so it's maybe Homer has a problem. So Homer, you have to do it this activity. So this is all for today. The additional homework for Hammer is make in a paragraph your daily routine. Okay, only this. You can send me all the files attached and with the homework. Okay, so it's that's it for today. I prefer that the student came to class, so unfortunately he he can't come. So I I I have to send all the files for Hammer, and I hope that he can make the homeworks. Okay, so that's it for today. Um, we see you on the next class. Okay, thanks and sorry for my cough. Okay, bye bye. Thank you. See you later.